All right, we're on the telephone with former County Commissioner Couy Griffin, who received some, I guess, not totally unexpected news, but not the news you were hoping to hear from the federal courts. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, it was a disappointing day today, Anthony, to get the email from talk to my attorney from D.C. and they split the response on my appeal 2-1, in which I lost. One judge was in favor, and I believe that his position was right. The other two judges, you know, I don't agree with their position. You know, they feel like whenever there's a protected official present in a government building, then it doesn't matter if the people standing outside the building know that person's present or not. They could still be charged with the same charge that I got. You know, I mean, on the day of January 6th, I didn't know that, you know, you couldn't go down to the Capitol because Mike Pence was inside the Capitol. And that's what created the restricted zone for me entering a restricted zone. So, you know, to put it in a nutshell, it was a disappointment, but, you know, the legal system, there's always avenues for appeal, and this should open up a direct pathway to the United States Supreme Court.
And that was my next question, what your next move was going to be.
Yeah. When I spoke to my attorney this morning on the phone, we were we were a little bit fired up at the time, and we were talking about going directly. But after talking to him again this afternoon, we might file one more appeal inside the D.C. Court of Appeals before we go to the United States Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court, I'm sure, will be our final resting place and where the final decision's made. You know, I mean, they don't call it the Supreme Court for nothing. It's the highest court in the land. And that's the one we really need to win in.
So what kind of time frame are you looking at before you file that next appeal?
I think this next deal is like 45 days. And that's just the pain of it, you know. I mean, whenever my case was originally orally argued in Washington, D.C., they said it was going to be 4 to 5 months for an opinion to come back, and now it's 10 months later, and I finally got one. So a lot of this legal process, you know, you just have to, you file and wait, or you orally argue and wait. You just wait on the court. So, but I don't, you know, at the very end of it, I don't question the fact that things will be made right. I believe that at the end I will win. It's just a matter of how that comes. I pray that I can do that in the courtroom. I would rather win at trial. I believe that's the way we really get good, clean wins. It sets strong precedents. But if it boils down to President Trump and a pardon from him, I pray, once he gets back into office, I take that too. Just anything to get it off my record behind me and be able to run for office again. You know, I mean, right now, as things stand, you know, I'm barred from ever holding office again through a state district court judge's order in a civil courtroom. So, you know, if I can get this conviction flipped, then, you know, it's kind of the whole house of cards I pray will come tumbling down.
Sounds like you have a lot on your plate right now. Before I let you go, is there anything else you want to say in closing?
You know, I believe that everything starts from the local county level, just like I've always, the drum that I've been beating since the beginning, you know, and the elections coming up are very concerning. The system is the same as it was in 22 and in 20 and in previous years, you know. I mean, Dominion tabulating system is still in place. The drop boxes are still there, the mail-in ballots, and now we have millions of illegals voting on top of that. I still pray that we can get the win, but it's hard to get in front of a computer too. So I believe the only way that we can really dig our heels down, Anthony, and is on the county the certification on the county level. You know, I mean, if we have county commissioners that will demand reform by voting no on the certification, then I believe that we can get reform. But as long as they continue to be rubber stamps and just vote yes and just lay down and cower anytime they're threatened by the Secretary of State, the fraud is going to continue. You know, I mean, our elections are first certified on a local county level. People need to understand that. That's where we put the fire out. Whenever it first gets started, we don't wait till it's already blazing and then go to Washington, D.C. and get thrown in jail. I think if we can really have a concerted effort on the local level of county commissioners that will demand election reform, I think we can get the tiger by the tail, and I think we can get her done, you know. So, but that's gonna be waited to be seen. I know out in Georgia they're making some good strides. You know, I met with the Secretary of State up in Wyoming, Chuck Gray, this last summer, and I think Wyoming's ready to do the right thing for their people. So hopefully here in Otero County and New Mexico, maybe.
All right. Former County Commissioner Couy Griffin, thank you so much.
Appreciate you, Anthony. God bless.